Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Scary Movie 2 from 2001.
This summer, enter the realm of the supernatural. No movie has more fun.
Hey, kitty! How do you like that, little pussy? You want a piece of me?
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Or more action. Scary Movie 2.
Your mother isn't here with us, Harris.
Mom, will you get out of there, please?
You're no fun.
This film has not yet been rated. Wednesday, July 4th.
Scary Movie 2 stars Anna Faris, Tim Curry, David Cross, and it's directed by Keenan Wayans. Plot of Scary Movie 2 is that it's, I guess, a sequel to the first one. It definitely feels like that. They bring back a lot of the same characters. And all it just does is throw in even different horror movies, a parody this time around. And the main plot, it takes place basically in a haunted house. So I guess that means it's going to have to focus on a lot of haunted house type movies to parody. And that's really the plot of the movie, actually. That's just all it is. What are my positives with Scary Movie 2? Honestly, for me, I will give the movie credit. It does try to take a lot more creative liberties with the films it tries to parody than the first movie, which was just, I feel like was, especially with the Scream aspect of it, all it just did was copy and paste, like all it just did was Control-C and Control-V, the dialogue and everything from the original Scream, and even Scream 2 and all those other movies, so I'm kind of glad it went away from that and actually tried to be more, I guess, creative with the movies it's trying to parody this time. I do like that aspect. Those are my only positives. What are my negatives with Scary Movie 2? Honestly, for me, the biggest complaint I have is that, which, here's the thing, that if you're doing a sequel, I feel like you should, basically, any flaws your first movie had, improve it in the sequel. And one of the biggest flaws I had with Scary Movie, like the first one, was the copy and paste nature of that film, which I think they did improve on this one. But that's the only thing they improved. The only thing they improved on. In fact, all the other stuff that I think they should have improved on actually ended up becoming worse in this one. For one, the humor's a lot worse, and I did not laugh that much in this movie. I only laughed like a few times, and that's it. And, I don't see how you could do that, especially with a lot of these actors. Especially Tim fucking Curry. You had Tim fucking Curry in here, and you did nothing funny with him. Or even try to make him sinister or anything that he's good at. And I think that's one of the biggest crimes of this movie, is not making Tim Curry anything special. Like, seriously, you could cut his character out of the movie, and it would not matter whatsoever. I was severely pissed off by that. Hell, I thought his performance as Pennywise in the original miniseries, even though I didn't find that scary, he was more funny in that movie than he was in this. What the fucking hell? Still, to me, the funniest actor / character would have to be Marlon Wayans as Shorty. He's still the funniest character, at least human character. Although there's one non-human character that's probably the funniest. Which honestly, for me, is kind of sad that the only really funny thing in this movie, the one that got me laughing at the most, was not even a human. Not even the human actors. Instead, it was a fucking talking parrot. That was the funniest thing in the movie. And knowing that, this film is not as rewatchable as the first movie. Honestly, for me, even though I had some issues with the first Scary Movie film, I honestly did enjoy it quite a bit. In fact, I gave it like a 4 out of 5 stars. And I could see myself rewatching the first one, and that's it. I don't really see myself rewatching Scary Movie 2 at all. Maybe for some of the scenes that made me laugh. I'll go on YouTube and search up those scenes. That's the only way I would rewatch Scary Movie 2, is just by rewatching the scenes that made me laugh. as far as watching the movie in its entirety, no. And knowing that the movie, to me, like, the pacing, like, I did dug the pacing in the first movie. The pacing, like, the movie was an hour and 30 minutes of a film, and the first one did not felt like it. I was watching an hour and 30 minutes, like I said in my previous review. This one is an hour and 30 minutes as well, I think. And it did not feel like an hour and 30 minutes whatsoever. In fact, it felt longer. Like, I felt like I was watching it for, like, I don't know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that, almost 3 hours. And knowing that, like, most of the jokes were either just obnoxious and irritating, and was just gross out to just be gross out humor. Which, if you're not, like, here's the thing, when I was watching Scary Movie 2, me and my brother were watching it during dinner, and especially during those first few moments, yeah, if you're not big onto gross out humor like me, at least that much of gross out humor, and if you intend on eating while watching this movie, prepare to lose your appetite. I'll say that. And it wasn't done in a clever way, in my opinion. It was just gross out humor just to be gross out humor. So, it didn't even feel like it was necessary. Or, I didn't feel like I got any sort of value from it. The only thing I got out of it was I did lost my appetite while eating dinner. For me, I know with the first movie, actually, like, I know for me with the first movie, like, one of the things I did like about the first movie was that it felt like a coherent movie. Which I did give credit on that, and, you know, it didn't feel like it, like as, apparently, the first movie was written by several different people. And I did not felt that whatsoever with, like, it did not felt like it was written by that many different people. It felt like it was written by one. So it felt very coherent and everything. With Scary Movie 2, like, this was the first time I definitely felt like it was written by several different people. In fact, I think it was written by 5 different people. And that's what it feels like. It feels, the whole movie just feels incoherent as far as what it's trying to do. And honestly, to me, it just seemed like they had, you know, like, they basically, it even feels like it was directed by different people. Like, each of the segments, even though it wasn't. And honestly, to me, it just felt like, what Scary Movie 2 felt more like, that it didn't feel like a movie. What it felt like was, you know, they had different directors and writers, while using the same actors in that, write and direct different short films that parody certain horror films, and they combined them together in this compilation and said, here you go, that's a movie, and we're making a sequel to the first Scary Movie. And that's what it feels like. It did not feel like a full movie. And that really bugged the hell out of me. It really did. And with that said, I'm going to give Scary Movie 2 a 3 out of 5 stars. Honestly, for me, this movie's just okay. You know, I just thought it was okay. You know, honestly, but just to me, it was completely forgettable. Wasn't even funny. But at the end of the day, is it the worst thing I ever seen? No. Hell no. The worst thing I ever seen still goes to the top 2 of my list, and that's Hellraiser Revelations at my number 2 spot, and number 1 worst movie I've seen was the Black Christmas remake from 2006. Those 2, for me, are the worst movies I've ever seen. Scary Movie 2 doesn't even come close to that. I will give it that much credit. And I will admit, at least they did improve on one thing, which was they got rid of the copy and paste nature of the first film. But I felt like by doing that, they end up, you know, making all the other, like, ignoring all the other issues I had with the first one. and actually making things worse, actually. Like, knowing that even the stuff I liked about the first film, they end up making worse than the second one. So, yeah, they only improved on one thing, but forgot to focus on any of the other stuff. So that's it for my review. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.